Hello and welcome to Travel Trader day number 166, and today I want to talk to you about how to take small losses. The reason for it is that I recently was talking to a day trader which was facing some horrible losses, and the reason for it is that from a psychology perspective, people always think that, okay, now I put a trade on and it went against me, but when it gets to break even, I get out, or it goes really heavy against me. When it gets better, I will get out. And that's one of the worst things you can do. The key to success in trading is always what we call asymmetric risk-reward ratios, which means we only risk a little bit in order to gain a multiple of what we can earn. It's typically like if you risk one, you want to make at least 2 or 3 with your trade when it works out. Now, the worst thing that you can do, and this is actually what happened to that day trader, which is very, very normal to people that are new to trading, is that she put on a trade, the trade went against her, and then she was like, okay, I give it a little bit more room, so you have your reason or your point where you exit, but then you move that point further away because you hope or you think it might turn, and sometimes maybe eventually it will turn, unless it really would go down to zero, but that's very, very rarely the case, so it nearly never happens. However, you move it away a little bit further, and that's like not having security in it as well, because if you move it one time, you move it the second time, the third time, and the fourth time, and you can always find another level where you think now there will be a turning point, and then the small loss in the beginning, which wouldn't matter, becomes a bigger loss and a bigger loss and a bigger loss, and in some cases, like you lost half of your account, and then you have to double everything again just to get to break even. That's a horrible big loss, and that kind of brings down a year's performance very, very rapidly. So the one thing that you are not allowed to do is that if a trade goes against you, that you move your stop loss further away. So your trade either is valid and you will actually make some money out of it, or you will get stopped out. So you take a small loss because the next trade you do as a winning trade, if you earn twice the amount, then you're back into the positive. And that's one of the biggest key lessons that you have. So if you take small losses and you got to train that, like first of all psychologically, and second of all, let's say at least in your demo account, that you put on a trade, and if it goes against you, you force yourself to take that small loss before it comes a big loss and before the situation goes out of control. And I know it's a very, very common problem, at least at the beginning, until you realize that, let's say you start and your maximum stop loss or your maximum risk would be, let's say, 200 euro or something, and then you reach 180, and then you think, yeah, let's make it 250, the difference isn't too big, and then you make it 300, 500, 1,000, and all of a sudden you lost 5,000 euro in a single trade, and now you struggle to get back to where you started. So please do yourself a favor and make sure that these small losses, which are totally okay and part of the game, don't get into big problems by moving that stop loss further and further away. And here's another thing that people do wrong in trading, especially in day trading. If you trade something, you have a specific reason for it. Let it be a breakout, or let it be a pattern in the chart that you found, or some sophisticated indicator telling you now to go long or to go short. If that indicator turns again, or if that breakout is a false breakout and it doesn't happen, or in other words, whenever the reason why you entered a trade is not valid anymore, do yourself a favor and get out, because you don't have a trade. Yes, you might take a 50 euro loss or something, and you gave it a try, it didn't work out, that's alright. But you rather get out of it with a 50 euro loss than waiting until you get stopped out at, let's say, a 200 euro stop loss, and then you have to make that 200 back again. It's way easier. The next trade that works in your favor would make 400, and if you have, let's say, one winning trade, one losing trade, you make 400 and you lose 50, you're up 350. But if you let these things, because you hope for some reason the market might turn again miraculously and go into your favor, and you get stopped out with your maximum stop loss at 200, when with a winning and a losing trade you're still only up 200. So train how to take small losses and get out when your trade doesn't make any sense. And that's how you give your portfolio or your returns a specific boost, because as soon as your reason is gone for the trade, if you get out, the losses usually are quite small. If you wait for it and it goes against you with the full risk, then this is something that you lost in addition. So try, from a psychological perspective, try to think about it differently. Rather than thinking, okay, I have a losing trade anyway, think about it as it would be a new trade. So your trading reason is gone, and now you're in a trade that has no reason anymore, but you still can lose another 150. So treat these 150 as additional earnings, because if you wait, likelihood if your trade doesn't make any sense but you get stopped out is very high anyway. So the miracle that it will turn in your favor barely ever happens. And if you have your trading journal and you write these things down, you will realize what I mean. Like maybe in 1 or 2%, miraculously something turns and you turn it in a winning trade. But in the vast majority, you will lose the whole maximum. So it's not that you are in a losing trade anyway. It's a difference between being down 50 euro or 200 euro. And that's like having another trade that loses 150 euros. So you make it a bigger loss than necessary. And once you stop doing that, you will realize that your performance will get way better. So very, very important, stick with asymmetric risk-reward ratios. You want to earn a multiple of what you risk. If your trading idea is not valid anymore, make sure to get out as long as the loss is small, so you don't lose the maximum, because that's money that you saved or that doesn't get off your winning trades. And please do yourself a huge favor and never move your stop loss away, because you hope that at another level there might be a turning point or another turning point, and then you keep on moving it until most of your portfolio is gone, and then either trading sucks because you think it doesn't work anymore or whatsoever, rather than realizing, okay, you did a huge mistake which you never should have done. Or the loss is so big that it takes you the rest of the year to get back to where you started. So these are some actual no-goes in trading which you absolutely should avoid. And once you stick to these things, the money you can make will be absolutely phenomenal. So if you struggle with taking losing trades, I would challenge you to go into a demo account and try it. So you put on a trade, and every time when your trading idea is not valid anymore, you immediately get out. Or if you realize, okay, that sometimes people want to wait to get break even because they are afraid to take that little loss in the beginning, so they wait, and as the stock market is going up and down anyway, they think it might get back to that thing. Especially in day trading, it's very, very common that people want to wait until it goes back, and then it kind of goes further down and down and down, the losses get bigger. So if you feel uncomfortable with it or unfamiliar, do yourself a favor, train it in a demo account where you are absolutely vigorous about taking these small losses, and then your trading performance is going to explode and will make you very, very happy. So thank you very much for watching. I'll get back to you in the coming week with another update on the markets, and next weekend we will talk again about some new indicator which you can use to further get better in your trading. So thank you very much, have a great evening, and goodbye.